In this film adaptation of Richard Pryor's least popular comedy, Henry Cavill plays a non-crippled Christopher Reeves, aside a bunch of people who needed work from Dollhouse and legendary actor Cowboy Curtis.
It was Man of Steel.
Superman never made any money, saving the world from Solomon Grundy. And sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him.
Brandon Kaiser.
Kid Coleman Cool?
Josh Jessup.
So yeah, today we saw Man of Steel, which is the new Superman movie, directed by Zack Snyder. It stars Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Michael Shannon, Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, Lawrence Fishburne, Christopher Maloney, and several guys from Dollhouse. So anyways...
and Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, and Battlestar Galactica. But yeah, so overall, pretty solid cast.
I love Christopher Maloney.
Tell you... Yeah, Christopher. I like Christopher Maloney. I mean, because they were.
I really like it. No, I really like SVU. So. And Christopher Maloney's
and
like.
it's not just Ice-T, right?
No, just the way he always portrays himself as the like. I can imagine him chasing down a pedophile and stabbing them until they die. Like that's. He's really.
I like that this ended up in the Man of Steel review.
I wasn't paying attention when you guys.
Well, what else is
talking
he
about? Who's Christopher Maloney again?
He just heard child molester and was interested. Anyways,
the Colonel.
Man of
The
Steel.
guy from SVU.
And True Blood.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
he was in True
Man of
Blood.
Steel.
Gordon.
Man of Steel.
That's from good. I didn't watch SVU.
He wasn't in
sorry.
True Blood enough. That was the problem.
That
But
was
anyways, all right, Man of Steel.
He's so good.
All right. Now that we've gone off on that bizarre Christopher Maloney tangent, let's talk about the movie. So, anyways,
How did we move?
I like this movie. I thought it was really good. I thought it. I mean, this isn't as good as Dark Knight or anything. This isn't like
Batman Begins.
or Batman Begins.
The first one.
Maybe Dark Knight Rises, because Dark Knight Rises is kind of, I don't know, there's some shaky stuff in it, and there's kind of some shaky stuff here too. So, but anyways, the first thing that I noticed in this movie, and kind of one of the reasons maybe I liked this movie, is because first and foremost, more so than I'm sure most people are expecting, this is a sci-fi movie. Much,
Yeah.
I
guess guys.
You're going, oh, this is the new Superman movie. You're gonna go watch another superhero movie, but I kind of would say, at least for the first half of this movie, it's much more a sci-fi movie than it is a superhero movie.
Yeah.
The beginning, there's a lot of stuff on Krypton. We spend a lot of time there, and it's kind of weird because I kind of saw it as very Star Wars influenced, like Zack Snyder kind of doing his own kind of Star Wars-y take. I know that's anything that's sci-fi, people will go, oh, it's kind of like just being Star Wars or whatever. But I don't know. I just got the Star Wars vibe. Maybe it was like the council and the different creatures and let's
weird
show
hats.
some landscapes and stuff. I don't know what
The
it
fact
was.
that everything wasn't made of crystals like it was in the first movie.
Sure.
You didn't remember?
No, I do. But anyways, different movie.
Still.
I really liked the action in this movie. Some of it is kind of, just people punching each other and stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that whether it's the sound design or the way things are shot or whatever, I felt like the action sequences when punches are thrown you can really feel the impact of them. So, I don't know if you guys got this. I got this more so when I saw it in 3D IMAX, which these guys didn't. So anyways, just to humble brag that one in there. Not really so humble though. But anyways,
I don't think you know what that word means.
So yeah, I don't think I do it either. But anyways, so yeah, I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the fact that there was action in it after Superman Returns. I was happy to see some actual action.
That's a fair assessment.
So,
That is beyond fair.
yeah. I thought they did some clever things. I mean, I know that if you are a Superman purist, you are going to be upset over maybe some of the changes and the little things in there and stuff. But I went into this with an open mind, and I was like, let's see what they do. I'm sure they're going to shake some things up a little. I mean, they shook up a bunch of stuff when they did Batman Begins and stuff. They're kind of trying to do a more. I can't really say realistic in this movie. I mean, it is aliens and stuff.
There's aliens,
but
there's Superman.
There is it's at least grounded in reality a little more than it could have been, I guess.
Do you think Batman was at home just shitting his pants when he saw like this shit happen on the TV? Is he like, what am I gonna? Crap!
he
I
was,
got crap. Oh, Alfred,
Maybe he was off.
let's go to Europe.
Maybe he was off with Selena Kyle drinking
It was
coffee
right here. I'm like,
with
son of a bitch.
Alfred looking at. Maybe that was going on then. So he was across, other side of the
That
country.
coffee
and
was
shit.
only 15.
Look, that's how they.
So, anyways, I don't know why we're talking about that. Probably to me the best part of this movie is the family and especially the father and son interactions in this movie. You get some of that with Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe, I think, is really good in this movie.
He's the gladiator.
He is the gladiator, and he's in it a lot more than you think.
Pulls off the Krypton accent perfectly.
He does.
Flawless.
So anyways, all right. But he has some nice interactions, with his son posthumously. And anyways, I'm
Did he
trying to
die?
use a big word. Well, he does die. Everybody knows he dies.
Spoilers.
Okay? Everybody knows he dies.
Oh.
Come on, it's Superman.
Are
lore.
you telling me
Everybody knows that.
Krypton explodes?
But
too?
the highlight of the movie really is the stuff with Kevin Costner as Jonathan Kent. Every scene that he has with, whether it's, young Clark or older Clark or whatever it is, every scene just hits really hard and good, and you get the feels, and, it's excellent.
It's just
And
nice to see
I
Kevin
wish-
Costner in a good
Yeah,
movie.
it's good to see Kevin Costner back. You've been given a hard time for years, and now it's
Yeah.
like,
You know what?
who's gonna say bad stuff about him? Don't say bad stuff about him in this movie
No,
now.
I'm just saying, if my two dads were Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner, that's a weird sentence. Never mind.
But yeah, seriously though, excellent stuff. I think if they're one of the weaknesses of this, one of the weaknesses in this movie is that we maybe don't get enough of that kind of stuff, and it's just kind of seen here and there in flashback and stuff. And if we could have had a little more of that than just basically the first half of the movie,
Not enough Waterworld.
I think it would have been
Interesting.
good. That's not what I'm saying.
The mailman?
So
Postman. There we go.
the score of this movie, of course, is amazing, which we kind of knew from the trailers. But yeah, Hans Zimmer, every time, like just every time lately.
Score by Hans Zimmer. That's all you really need to say.
really.
Surprisingly, I barely remember the music. From the
So,
movie.
wow,
Other
that's
than-
crazy.
other than the
because
title.
the score is so good.
I did miss the classic Superman theme though.
Well, I mean that's John Williams, and that's
John Williams.
Yeah, John Williams, untouchable, like legend. But Hans Zimmer does a
Hans Zimmer.
good job of trying to.
I know his name, and that's how you know he's good.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they had to not use the original theme because
Probably.
this is a reboot. This is them a different take on it, and they don't want to remind you of that. Superman Returns
You don't want to remind you of the guy with the sun
Well, Superman
and the
Returns.
Stellasphone S,
Hey, Superman Returns tried to remind us of the original movies too much,
and the guy who plays
and then
Cyclops.
nothing happened. Yes, and the guy who plays Cyclops. So, anyways, getting into the things that maybe kind of didn't work as much as I wanted them to. Number one, which is my complaint with quite a few movies, is that this is a long movie. You should know that going in. It's going to take up a big chunk of your
My
day.
tailbone was annoying me.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
a
movie
long
wasn't
movie.
even. That's how I know when movies are long. Is when my.
I don't
ass
know if
hurts.
there's not. It's not like there's a ton of scenes that go on too long, or you
No.
start feeling like, oh man, this is so boring. There's nothing like that. It's
No.
just a long movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately that happens, especially when you're doing like origin stories and
Everything
stuff.
felt necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that,
it was
good.
it was pretty much all necessary. You can maybe trim some stuff. I don't know if we needed to see the stuff with Perry White and his adventures and getting torn apart on
Yeah,
Metropolis.
no.
Maybe that
Oh,
could have been
spoilers.
Maybe that could have been. Hey, it's in the trailer. But
Is that-
Did you
anyways,
really call him Perry White?
yeah, good racist joke there.
No, I'm just. That was weird. Like I liked Lawrence Fishburne, but
Cowboy Curtis.
Cowboy Curtis, Neo. Wait, no.
No, Morpheus.
Morpheus, whatever, the black one. But I just thought it was kind of weird that they replaced. Perry White's an old, angry white guy, and they got Lawrence Fishburne.
I thought you'd find that.
And he
It
did.
was-
No, I really
it wasn't
loved-
a problem.
It was really good. I always kind of think that's weird in movies when you have established
change race?
and they just kind of they'll change the race here and there just because it's. I don't know why.
Okay.
That's just a weird Hollywood thing.
I think it.
I'm trying to figure out how to do what if I told you sort of comment.
Well, no, it's just like.
So,
It always seems like
yeah, I
a
don't
we
wanna
gotta
find
throw a colored folk in here. Like that's like a
No,
Hollywood.
I don't think it's
mentality.
necessarily that.
No, I think it's a Hollywood. Like they
That
need
sounds
more,
sexist,
'cause there's. I mean, it came out in the 50s.
It could be. I mean,
Superman came in the 50s. There weren't like blacks in the 50s were like carried around watermelons and threw spears. That was blacks in the 50s in comics. So I mean, that's why there's like no, they didn't appear until, you know, like that was an 80s, 70s invention, was putting like black superheroes together and stuff like that. So
Yeah, you don't want to shoehorn in Static Shock or anything in this movie to get your
God, no.
quota met. So, you know.
And they have the general guy. He was a person of color.
Yeah,
I just-
whatever he is.
I know, but like
Yeah.
the main from the comic cast was just, and it just seems like they wanted to, you know, throw a couple more ethnic people in there.
I get that, but
And it's
I didn't
all-
have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with either because I love
Um,
Lawrence Fishburne.
Other than that, I'd
and
say
his Jerry curl.
Other than that, another thing that I'm not, I don't know, kind of makes this movie weird to me because it's not something I dislike, but the style of the movie kind of wears on you by the end. I mean, it's a long movie and you get a lot of the same style stuff, and it all kind of seems to me like some guy trying to do, you know, Geiger influenced,
Oh, you're still on that Krypton
yeah,
stuff.
it feels, no, but in general, we get the ships coming in later, you know, we get a lot more stuff, you know, Zod's stuff is all, you know, his suits and everything, it's
Yeah.
all like,
All right.
what did this guy spend a couple days on the Prometheus set and decided I want to do stuff too? But anyways, you know, it's fine. I think it's interesting and kind of cool looking, but eventually when I get to the end of the movie, you're kind of like, you know, I've
Shut up and punch someone
kind of
through a
had my
building.
fill of this, and I guess because it's so centered around this style, I'm kind of at a loss for where they go from here. I know that they want this to set up some stuff, and they have LexCorp in here, you know, little hints of things, but I don't know, like I just get the feeling of now that they've set this, how do you do a lot of that stuff? How is Lex Luthor going to seem like a threat now
I
that
see.
we've had Kryptonite people punching the shit out of each other and wrecking shit?
I suppose that's,
And,
well, that's always been the problem. with
yeah,
Superman.
that's true. But even like, how do you do Brainiac? Like, it's gonna be kind of weird, and like, you know, like you just start thinking about other Superman villains and things, and you're like, I don't
How
know
they
this-
translate it, especially in the way that they're keeping the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I really doubt we're taking a trip over to Apocalypse anytime soon.
No.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I think that'd be more of a Justice League thing if we ever do get there.
Yeah.
But
The second movie I feel should be Lex Luthor. Third movie definitely Brainiac.
maybe you skip and do Brainiac second. I think Lex may have to be last. But anyways.
Why? They made
Introduce-
Joker second, and
Well,
You can
no,
introduce
you can
him.
introduce Lex in the second one and make
You can
him seem
introduce
like he
him,
meets him. Maybe he's like
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like a main character, but he's like in the background doing stuff. And then by the third one, Lex is because Lex
You
is
set up
his-
for a third one. Yeah.
Lex is his ultimate villain.
Yeah.
He may
Well,
not
but-
have the punch and power.
That's like I thought. Do you think that's a mistake they made with the Batman series, where the Dark Knight, like, it had the Joker, who was the Batman's ultimate villain, and then they just did
No,
that.
you needed to do
It's
that
a
when
special
Heath Ledger
case.
wouldn't survive Lockham.
No, it's a special
That's
case
not it.
because of that. Because I think it's pretty common knowledge now that the Joker was supposed to appear in the third one.
Oh yeah.
He was gonna come back, so it's not like they
I'm-
planned on this is gonna be it for the Joker. They were kind of
Yeah.
put in
I'm
a,
not-
Well, that-
they were
I'm
put
not
in a
so sure
situation.
about
Even
using
aside
the
that-
idea of like another villain.
Well, no, even aside from that, Joker is the opposite of Batman. They exist together because that's always been a big thing, and they mentioned in the movie a lot was that he's the opposite of Batman. They have to be there. So
Yeah.
now that Batman's been established in the first movie, bringing his opposite in the second movie
Yeah.
was a smart choice.
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And plus, you had that awesome teaser at the end of Batman Begins then where he gets to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can leave it off with some stuff. I think that might be a thing about this movie, though, is there is no, like, setup for another one. There's no cliffhanger thing. There's no after-credit sequence. There's,
They kinda
there's a
do
lot of
wait
things that
and
we're
see.
kind of used to seeing in superhero movies now that
well,
we didn't get so much.
Samuel Jackson
So-
didn't show up. That's
he
like-
could have been Perry White. No, I'm just kidding.
That would have been sweet.
But
No, he
anyways,
should have been Lois.
So,
Sam Jackson is Lois.
they're saying they're gonna,
Where's Dad?
they're working on a sequel. They're working on trying to get Justice League going, and it's like, I don't know. I don't see how this is that way to do it. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people thought it was
Well,
gonna be.
they're not trying to live up to Marvel's expectations at least, or the
I
expectations
guess.
we've got for Marvel. You
I
can't
guess.
do that. You gotta approach it a different way because you can't
And I
just
think-
do what they did.
And this style of movie that they've been doing now with the Dark Knight trilogy and now this movie, the overall like feeling and style of how these movies are, I could see that if you get some less than quality directors to do movies like that, they could end up really bad.
Yeah.
Like there are things in this movie that I would notice, especially since I saw this a second time today. So there are a lot of things I would notice where it's like some of these lines a little cheesy. And if there was a lesser actor or if there was a director that didn't know what he was doing enough, this could have been really cheesy. But because of, I mean, Zack Snyder is a talented guy, say what you will about him, we don't get slow motion fighting in this, I mean, so people complaining about
We
that
get
right
fast motion fighting.
You do, but it's nice, and
Yeah.
I think this is a
Total
well-directed,
change.
I think this is a well-directed movie.
Yeah,
I've
no.
always been a fan of Zack Snyder, I don't think he's been a bad director, I actually like Watchmen, I like 300, I don't like Sucker
I enjoy
Punch,
Sucker Punch was too much like a music
but
video.
the direction
I like
in
Sucker
Sucker Punch isn't the problem, it's the story, so that's a different case.
It's the writing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
not
it's the
the
writing.
story writing,
So,
I guess it's-
it wasn't,
Yeah.
it's not the directing fault.
I was
or anything.
drinking, so I had to yell it out.
Yeah. So anyways, overall I think this is, a great movie. No, it's not revolutionary, it's not like this amazing thing that, is going to change superhero movies. It's not, it's just a really good DC for a change superhero movie. Maybe that's the important thing though, is this is now DC kind of showing us we can do more than Batman, and it's good.
They tried to do that with
You let us down with Green Lantern.
No, they didn't try to do that. Green Lantern.
This is
I
what I'm
think that was
talking
the
about.
problem.
Although I like Martin Campbell too, I can't say lesser director that time. Again though, bad script, so...
Yeah, you work with the tools you got.
Yeah, but anyways, it's nice to see if they take this serious and, not serious in terms of tone.
Not
but
serious in terms of Gary Oldman.
But if they seriously spend some time and really look at what they can do for a Justice League movie and setting it up, I think this kind of proves now that it's not just Batman. We can do this and make quality, solid movies
But I think
going forward. Hopefully.
I think they've lost Joss Whedon for Wonder Woman.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's kind of known. He pitched that a while ago,
Yeah.
so.
Well, that they got to do a Wonder Woman movie then because she's the next one, obvious.
Do you think they do a Wonder Woman movie?
I think yeah. Well, if you're gonna do a Justice
Or
League
do you do
movie,
it next? There's a lot of talk. We're just gonna get Man of Steel 2 and then Justice League,
No, that's stupid.
and then Justice League will introduce the new Batman. Also, is the other rumor that they're talking lately. So, I think it all is interesting to keep an eye on. I'm just not.
Yeah, no, let's keep an eye on it.
So, anyways, Kit, what did you think of the movie? We kind of rambled on a lot in my talks. So, what did?
Well, I'm
What
just
you
making a
got?
note to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Anyway,
While he stares at you, people.
this is probably the number one movie this year I was actually really looking forward to, I thought.
Yeah.
Line of thought. This
This
it
was
the one I
this was my
really
most
looking forward to.
anticipated.
Alright.
It didn't necessarily meet my expectations fully. I mean, they changed some things that I was cool with. Like, I thought, good, you're getting that out of the way. Because already you took up a lot of the movie with what you have to tell, which is the origin of Superman, which has been told like a dozen times in like books, shows, and like...
I think we've had
movies.
enough Marlon Brando over the years, though.
No, never.
But it was just another telling the story, another way of seeing it. I actually thought that I was really hoping that they do the was it Mark Waid who wrote Birthright?
Yes.
Yeah, that one. That story I thought was like real great. The way they kind of set it up, how he kind of just traveled the world
And they use Birthright stuff in here. It's not.
and tried to find his place more. Yeah, it was kind of like that. Yeah, I guess
They
it
use
was.
some Birthright stuff in here.
But I got the sense that he was just trying to, like, do good yet not be seen almost, like not so much just try to find himself. But another
Well,
thing,
I think it was both, obviously.
yeah.
So,
So like that it was necessary. It was necessary for him to have the whole like. I was just glad they didn't do the whole childhood thing. They just did that in flashback.
yeah, it doesn't have
That
such.
that worked fine.
Yeah.
I did not
Well,
need
it
to
was
see.
so the stuff was so good that you kind of wanted it to go longer. But that's a lot more of like Kevin Costner and stuff as opposed
Yeah,
to the
like
kid.
they changed
But-
things. They changed some things with Lois Lane's story. They changed some things with Jonathan Kent's story, which I approve of. I guess it actually
Well-
really, I approved of it. It worked for me.
Well, you're talking about
And he's-
spoilers, and that
he's
happens
probably-
in the comic too. It's not like they made that up, but
Well, I mean, like some things
And
things
he's
they
a
did differently.
I think it's the closest thing to a Superman purist we have on the
Eh.
today.
Purist.
I won't say purist. Also, I like the term Superman.
yeah,
purist.
that's true. I really like when people do different things with Superman. I love
Yeah.
Secret Identity, and Red Sun is like my
Yeah,
favorite
Red Sun.
Superman story of all time.
Earth 1 was pretty
so. Earth 1 is okay.
I like
but,
Kingdom Come Superman.
I like Earth 2 Superman was pretty good.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean.
Oh, sorry, Earth 1 Superman.
Most
like,
people don't look at
sorry, Part 2.
most people don't look at like standard Superman and think these were the best stories in recent memory. So
They did on some
you know.
really good rehashing of the origins I thought were really good. But anyway, the movie, I thought it was
All-Star Superman?
No.
More great shit.
I saw the movie. The movie was bad. The movie itself though, like the tone of it, the whole it seemed very dark for a Superman movie. Like there was a lot. There was a lot of clouds and usually he's fighting in broad. You're smiling here, but he's used to fighting it was always Batman hid in the shadows, but Superman was in broad daylight fighting crime and breaking the fuck out of robots. And here it was always it always seemed really
It was the
twilight
grim, dark
or dawn
Superman
or dusk.
remake.
It didn't seem as bright as.
But
it
again,
usually
I
was.
also think it's that.
Plus, that's where he gets a source of power, so it kind of goes.
It's also them differentiating themselves, though, from what we've seen in the past. It has been colorful in the past and bright and shiny stuff, and they're trying to take out their own thing, and that's kind of the thing now in superhero movies.
Pretty sure
We're getting these darker takes on them.
And Superman is still
Amazing Spider-Man was kind of a darker take on Spider-Man.
Oh, don't get me. I don't mean actual. Okay, I don't mean story-wise.
You just mean
No, I
mean visually.
You mean
visually. I mean visually. Yeah.
And I'm saying the same thing still.
Well, you mean Spider-Man? Spider-Man actually.
Amazing Spider-Man?
No,
Yeah, actually, you're right. It did take. He did
punched
do
a
a lot
lot
of
of people
stuff in
in
the
the
dark.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess. Yeah. I didn't.
You're thinking of the opposite of what you're thinking of me thinking of it differently, which if that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't. Because you're thinking of well, he's quippy and stuff in Amazing Spider-Man, so he's lighter than he was. No, that's not what I mean. I mean overall the movie's darker. So
Yeah.
But I just been like I said, the visuals were so much darker, and it was kind of threw me off a bit. Of the whole feeling of Superman. I thought. I think that they should have saved Zod for later on almost.
I disagree.
Just almost. I almost think they should have saved Zod for later on to use. But honestly, they had the whole setup. They kind of had to use.
That's what I mean. They've done this where they set up Zod and then bring him back for the second one. That was the original couple Superman movies. Yeah. So it was nice to see them do it differently.
Plus the theme of the movie with him getting his superpowers and that stuff.
And connecting with his humanity from living on the planet for so long.
Yeah.
He needed then the other side of him to fight with.
Well, that plus then you can bring in Zod, who's also ooh, I get superpower. While he's just finally exploring the punching Superman part of his Supermanness, then Zod shows up and exploits that because he's you may be, Superman for Earth 30 years and all that stuff, but I am the super soldier. And
it's
I can do this
my
shit
mind's
too.
been trained for this. Training for new environments and whatnot.
'Cause I was,
it's like a snap of my fingers. Yeah.
Our friend Travis mentioned a confusing thing about Superman, and I liked what he said that General Zod. Well, also the Kryptonians are more pacifist in the comics, if I remember, but he's still General Zod. You'd think he's a soldier. If he had the same power as Superman, he should be able to whoop the shit out of Superman because he knows how to fight. Whereas Clark is I'm powerful and I punch fire. I've seen him do it. Whereas Zod is I'm a soldier. I can
we don't
break
know.
Well, it's just if they have the same power
we
level.
don't know if he did any kind of training while he was growing up and stuff. We don't know that.
But he couldn't.
That's another thing.
Punch.
Yet another thing. I kind of was hoping for.
Mountains.
You can't judo a mountain.
I wanted more of Superman before Zod arriving to actually be involved more as Superman, in the costume. Once he got the costume to save more people.
Oh, you want him to do random acts of kindness?
Yeah, and make himself known. People go there's this blur
But that wasn't the
town.
theme of the movie. The theme of the movie was his hiding who he was because of the fear that people would feel of there being a being from another planet. So if he was out doing that stuff, then we wouldn't have all that. It was supposed to be the fact that he was forced out by Zod. It's supposed to be the thing.
You got the feeling though he was doing all that stuff anyway.
You couldn't hide in the attic anymore. Zod was right there.
Yeah.
I know, I get that, but he was doing all this stuff anyway. In secret, I know,
Secret
saving people.
He wasn't doing it in costume.
Well, he ran every time.
You just wanted him in costume helping people?
I wanted him to just be known. The whole idea of him being a symbol is what his dad said, and everything like that. But the whole Jor-El said, and him being greater than a man.
His two dads.
And like that. I thought that would have spoke to him, and therefore he would have actually gone out there and just like saved some lives, and then
Like you're
Zod.
mixing
And people would have
messages.
questioned it.
I get what Kid's saying. I don't
I like-
agree with it.
yeah.
but I get where he's coming from.
That's
I can understand.
that's the thing I was kind of just expecting, I guess. But it's more or less when he showed up, I thought the army was a little bit too accepting of him.
They did try to kill him.
Like, yeah, but
No, I mean they.
I thought it was done pretty well though. Like they didn't trust him, and they did all these, things to try to,
They
but in
didn't
the end,
care that he.
they weren't going to be able to
wasn't
stop him, and I think that they very quickly understood that, and that's why I think.
I just
They
still like
understood it more,
even still
you know,
like the
with
way
him.
they just kind of like accepted him too much at the end. I
He
felt.
made a strong case.
He made a strong case, but even still in the comics, that like case was never strong enough. That there was always some asshole who was like, but
Okay,
he's still a huge
Spoiler
threat.
alert, but anyways, what do you mean in the end they didn't, they just all of a sudden trust him? He
Okay.
destroys that $12 million thing, that drone,
The spy
because they're
drone.
trying to spy on him.
And
What are you talking
that
about?
guy did not get nearly pissed off enough about that.
Well, that's because he couldn't swear. He had to say, what effing whatever he
It's
said.
a PG movie.
Yeah, it's a
well, no,
PG-13
but
movie, yeah.
besides
Oh, yeah,
that, what
I-
do you do? He is Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen people strong
And
arm.
plus, he didn't
in comics.
spend-
humans, like
Hey,
just in general.
He didn't spend $12 million on that drone or satellite thing or whatever, so it's not his money.
All the more I feel
It's
that
our money, the taxpayer.
I
Damn it,
just, I just
Superman.
really believe that whole was just kind of missing from there. It was like just there was gonna be people who were just totally not gonna accept him. There should have been more of that at the ending, like sort of like at the
that could
Avengers.
be
How people
somebody
like,
saved-
some people were on
That
the
could be
Avengers side,
something.
some
That could
people
be
weren't.
something for a new movie, though. You have to remember, this movie ends with him kind of becoming publicly known too. I mean,
That is true.
this all takes place over a short period of time, I think, than you're thinking. So
Yeah, I know.
And in the next
But-
movie, we could maybe get more of that, where it becomes a sort of X-Men type thing, where it's like, this guy
And
is
it
a
goes
freak,
back.
and we.
It goes back to there
don't
wasn't a lot
trust
set
him.
up for the next one.
And just to jump over, like, there's the point, the punch out in Smallville where they are like they don't care that he's there and they're shooting everything, and he's still saving them and Christopher Maloney, and I think that's another part where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do trust. He did save soldiers' lives and Christopher Maloney, who is a colonel, which is a sweet role that he has.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, I mean, I can understand
There's
that, but
some
I think
things-
he probably made a little bit more friends in the military than in that scene by like actually helping, saving, and he did save the world.
There were some things.
Yeah.
There were some things about that. Okay, when he saved one of the helicopter pilots, that was pretty much the only one he really saved. When he attacked the female Kryptonian, it was more or less there was an opening and he took it, like a soldier.
But
would
it's
see that.
Superman. You know he did it to save
Yeah.
people.
We know that.
This is a
Can
movie.
the colonels necessarily know that?
This is a movie. Who's watching it? The colonel
They,
or
they
are we
just
watching
they
it?
saw it as like three superhumans like fighting
And
in a
at
small
first-
town doing like fucking millions of dollars in collateral damage.
And at first, they were attacking all three of them.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure the military did way more damage collaterally.
I just think that there's
they were the ones shooting the missiles and blowing up the street. They were just punching
That-
each other on a road.
there was
That's
this,
true, that's true.
honestly, I just kind of thought of the
Aside
two,
from the
When they showed up to attack them, they started blowing stuff up. But until then, they were
of
just
the two high-ranking military officers, I figured at least one of them would just be like, oh, like we shouldn't trust them. Like the one who survived, I thought.
But then you have
we
that-
should trust
that's
him.
a-
And I'm like, yeah, we could totally trust them.
That's a cliche that's been done in so many movies. There's always like the military
Yeah.
general who's always like, ugh, we can't trust them. And they always end up fucking like, oh, let's launch the nuke. And that happens in every fucking movie like this.
And
There's
then
always,
they feel bad afterwards. I don't want him to
not
feel bad.
always. Do you remember Spirits Within? Nobody does.
Yeah, I do. I saw it in the theater.
But,
that's what I expect.
You
I
got
expect
James
a
Wood.
hard
James
ass-
Wood is like the classic general. He's got the trench coat. He's got the leather gloves, and he's like, till the end, he's like, we have to nuke everything.
That's what you need. You need
No, because it's done in every fucking movie.
Yeah,
So-
and
of course, there is one in
and-
this movie already.
isn't that
Zod himself is a military officer who
No,
just
he's the
pretty much
villain.
killed off
I meant
cancer.
the non-villain.
He's a
There's-
villain because of his actions.
There's just you're asking for like another military guy who just doesn't trust
Yeah,
Superman and wants
I-
to fuck
I
him over.
agree.
That was Lois Lane's father.
And I think we've
Yeah, but we didn't get Lois Lane's father here.
And that,
so-
yeah, that's
so-
already been
so-
done.
movie.
It's
Yeah.
been done in Superman movies before.
And they're just gonna continue it anyway. Actually, that wasn't in the past. Was he in the previous movies? Like Lois Lane's dad?
I've only seen Superman 1 and Superman Returns.
I hadn't
You've
seen
never seen
Superman.
Superman 2?
I own it and
I-
haven't watched it yet.
I've seen Superman 2. I saw Superman.
List
3
of shame.
so long ago.
List of shame.
But they
List of
did
shame.
him a lot in the comics and the books, but I don't actually think that
Alright,
he actually
but-
was in the movies.
All right, just
Like anyway, to wrap it up.
wrap it up. I'll tone it down.
Yeah, man.
These are just little minor things I have in there. You guys blew out of proportion.
I don't know. You seem pretty angry about mine.
No, like I'm angry because like you guys are just
No.
you seem
We
to have a
just
huge
disagree.
problem
That's all.
with it,
We just disagree. That's
and
all.
you're just attacking my feelings
Okay.
of the movie.
We're not taking.
Pretty much this was a I enjoyed it.
You don't like discussion.
I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was too long actually. I did not think it was too long.
Like at all?
No, everything I felt was necessary. I felt like all the storytelling parts about his past to the points where like there was like them fighting.
I didn't say it felt boring at all.
No, I didn't say
said
boring.
it's
I didn't say
long.
boring. I just
No,
felt
so-
all was necessary. I didn't feel the need like well this is a really long movie. I didn't feel that.
My tailbone tells me, so I know.
I don't have a problem with my tailbone.
Yeah.
But I felt it was a good length.
I get my butt hurts.
I enjoyed it, but it didn't live up to my expectations.
like Star Trek did for me.
I think
You enjoyed it, but
Well,
it wasn't.
It wore off. Star Trek actually wore off after a bit.
Well, it's just like it was your Star Trek.
No, I
was my most
still really
anticipated.
like Star Trek. Star Trek is still my favorite movie of the year.
It wore off. Don't get me wrong. It didn't wear off a hell of a lot, just a little bit. It wore off a little bit. Like,
Well, no,
I feel I went too far when I said
Star
it
Trek was
favorite
my
movie of
most
the year.
anticipated movie. Superman was your most anticipated. Like
Yeah,
I saw
mine
Star
too.
Trek. It didn't
That's
live
the way-
up to my
That's the way most
expectations.
anticipated movies go.
I mean, it was a good movie, but
Yeah.
it wasn't what I wanted. Superman, you'd say it was a good movie. It wasn't what you wanted.
That's the problem with your anticipations. They rarely things
It
really
is.
rarely lead up to like you know.
Some-
So
Something-
Josh, what did you think of the movie?
Oh, what, Superman?
Yeah, about Man of Steel. That is what we're talking
Oh,
about.
Man of Steel.
I know we've kind of.
I keep forgetting it's called Man of Steel. Does that mean you're gonna call it Man of Steel 2?
I guess.
Or
They're gonna
Man
call
of
it something
Steels? Or Steel Mans?
They're gonna
Last
call
Son of
it,
Krypton or something.
Last Son
that.
of Krypton? Are they gonna do
Because
like
now he really is.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises? Are they gonna do like Man of Steel?
They're gonna call
Faster
it.
Than a
No,
Speeding
no.
Bullet?
They're gonna call it the Big Blue Boy Scout.
I prefer
Well,
Faster Than a Speeding Bullet to be the title of the next one.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
More powerful than a locomotive.
It's a bird. It's a plane. The movie.
Yeah. No, and we talk a lot about the length, and it was a long movie. All of it was necessary, though. Like,
Yeah,
there,
I mean-
all the and
I think in the end, that's what we're all saying.
because we keep talking
Aside
about the
from Ted.
length. We've all talked about. No, he said it was all
No,
necessary.
he said it wasn't long though.
I said
yeah,
he
he
agrees
was-
with that.
I said it
Not
wasn't
the
long.
other part of it.
Okay, well, it was all necessary.
Kid must have a lot of free time.
Despite the fact that my ass was hurting at least like the
What?
last 75% of
That's
it.
you when you're editing this.
The last quarter of the movie where my ass was just like, let's walk around or something. I'm like, no, we gotta watch this fucking movie.
You wanted an intermission?
Yeah, no, like my fucking ass hurts. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have.
Hey,
one
sometimes those aren't the most comfortable seats. They're not, you know.
yet. Anyway, and there was that guy snoring behind me.
Yeah. Well, I was thankful he was asleep then. That guy was like Captain fucking Obvious at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, no, that guy was
Like,
good.
well, not obvious. Sorry, he was like Mr. Information or something. He kept on giving.
I know it's weird. Yeah, no, it's kind of
Yeah.
funny because I know what that guy thought about all the trailers we saw because
Yeah.
he didn't have like a quiet
I
voice.
hate when people do that.
He talks like we are right now. He was talking to
Yeah.
his buddy sitting next to him in the exact same
Yeah.
tone voice.
It was like the Hunger Games trailer, like for.
I'm not gonna watch that.
The first movie wasn't great.
No, did he see that? I didn't
Yeah.
think he saw the first movie.
He said the first.
No,
like,
I heard him
didn't like
say.
the first
I heard him
movie.
say he was disappointed in the Hunger Games.
I really like Hunger Games.
Except for the end.
I don't remember the end.
I gotta see it.
That's
Oh, wait.
why it sucks.
I now I gotta watch Hunger Games a second time.
It's on Netflix.
You mean
I know.
Battle Royale with cheese?
Hey, I love Dead Children.
At least Battle Royale, some of those bastards are trying to figure out a way to get off the fucking.
At least Battle Royale, they're all Japanese, so you don't care if they're alive or not.
Oh.
Oh, too soon?
Okay.
So anyway,
Well, this-
Man of Steel is a movie
Or
that
the
we
table's
saw.
more racist than the other part.
No, I liked it. There you go. No, how do you describe it? Like, we've already talked pretty thoroughly through it.
I guess it's kind of true. We've done a lot.
But my overall impression of it was a good movie. It wasn't. Actually, I didn't really have any expectations. It was what I thought. Like, because it is Superman, and I'm like, I figured Superman, Zod, there'd be a lot of punching. I did not expect the level of collateral damage that we got.
Oh fuck yeah.
This
There's
was
a
like
lot of
Michael
collateral
Bay.
damage.
There are a lot of dead people.
Well, there weren't explosions.
In Metropolis, in Smallville, corpses for days. I hope they bring that up in the sequel. I think that needs to be something that they address. I mean, it wasn't necessarily Superman's fault at all. It's just, well, maybe it was. We don't know how many people were in those buildings that he like got
And
punched.
there were a
that he
couple-
through people through and then they fell over.
And some people,
debate- there
some
are
people got their
debate
heads
stuff.
smashed from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like eardrums that popped from all their punches and stuff like that. That was a really intense. There was a lot of
It's
intense
like
action.
every time he's actually fought in public, he tries to make sure that the public is safe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is his first time out, though.
It was like you got a back door to that building, right?
Someone told people to get inside, it's not safe, all that kind of stuff. He
Yeah.
tried to...
I really love.
Inside or you're not.
Well,
Okay,
no.
okay.
They did it intentionally, and I love it. But
But
when
where
he's
are
like,
they gonna go?
I know, but they did it intentionally. I know they did it. But the shot where he's like yelling at people to get inside, where the one person like runs inside, and then they showed a close up of the deadbolt. Like that's something.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
love
glass
that.
fucking
That's
door.
that's
But I
Zack
mean,
Snyder right there. I love that
What do
shot.
they? What do they have? Like underground shelters that they're supposed to all go?
Oh,
into? Where are they
Kansas-
supposed to go?
Kansas tornadoes.
Yeah.
Run into the field? I mean,
But beyond
you're
that-
still in danger. There was no safe place. He
Keep
was
fucking
just-
running. That's it.
He was trying
Use
to
the
keep them
back
out
door.
of the majority
Yeah,
of
no,
the stuff.
and that was fine until the military showed up and didn't give a fuck.
Well,
Anyway,
Yeah.
the one thing I do because they lost the super panties.
yeah.
They got rid of the super panties. That was kind of like a thing. I don't know why.
It's very new 52 of them.
And I didn't really care about him losing his little red panties.
Yeah, I don't care
That
about
was
that
stupid.
I cared about the yellow missing from the
There was
costume.
one part of the costume that I thought was kind of weird. That they lost the red panties, but they kept the neckline low enough so his little chest hairs would show up.
I agree that's kind of weird, but I don't have a problem with it.
I just thought it was like like it's the nipples on the bat suit. Did you need the neckline low enough that he had little chest hairs hanging out?
I think
It was kind of a weird choice
I-
for them to like
I don't have a
do
problem.
that, but like leave this.
I don't have a problem
Well, he's
with
gonna
the
shave
costume.
this. He's not gonna shave that.
It was just like I thought that was weird.
I don't have a problem with the costume, and the cape is glorious. Like the way
That
the
was
cape
a rocking
flows and the
cape,
way
yeah.
and shit.
I'm
Yeah.
glad
I
didn't
believe
lose
that
the
cape
cape.
was CG.
You know
if
what?
it was real, holy shit. That was
I can guarantee you right now, like someone was sitting there like maybe we should just lose the cape on Superman, and they got
I think all they did
slapped.
was they took the S off the
No.
cape.
He's not Booster Gold. He can handle it.
No, like there was a board meeting somewhere where they were talking about like let's lose red panties. Should we keep the cape? Someone just reached across the table and slapped that guy. And it's like it's Superman.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of the cape.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I wasn't
Superman.
even thinking about that before the movie
And
started.
then he couldn't have said that line about where I hang my cape. So
Yeah.
you know, you
Like,
needed
layers.
Capes
Yeah.
existed before Superman, didn't they? I mean, like in like just fashion in general.
Yeah.
Zod had a cape.
1600s.
Like when did we
Everybody
step?
had a cape.
When
Also,
did,
no, I like
when did
how all-
capes specifically just be a superhero thing, and
I
we
like-
stopped wearing them?
I don't know. Maybe we should bring it back.
I'd like to wear capes again.
No, capelets are I think are still in style. You can wear a capelet.
Maybe it's a hipster thing.
What's
So maybe we shouldn't do it.
Oh, is that like a small cape? Like
No,
what
it's,
else?
you know like the Roman soldiers, they had like that half cape that usually like covered in armor.
now that
and
we
stuff
brought
like
up, now that we brought up that nobody wears capes anymore, now the hipsters are going to all wear capes now.
Fuck.
God damn it! Why did we do that?
It'll be easier for us to spot them. Not that it isn't.
that.
already.
Anyway,
You know, next podcast or whatever video, you were gonna
I'm
see
gonna
all of
wear
us
a
with
cape.
capes.
Mentioning capes was a bad idea.
so anyway, to just wrap it up because
Our like 12 viewers will spread it. around.
as we've thoroughly discussed, I think every
I think
avenue
we-
of this movie outside of the chest hairs that I just finished off right here. It was a good movie. Zack Snyder, great director, good script. In his hands, it would have been a really cheesy. It was a very science fiction movie. I could have seen it being taken down a dark path if someone smart wasn't at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall it was decent.
Maybe Christopher Nolan has something to say about that too. His little bit of input, I'm sure he has.
Yeah, it's a different take on Superman. It's at least interesting. I mean, it is Superman. You can't really. How do you reimagine Superman? Because only
Yeah.
space Superman. You can't really shake it up that much.
He's gonna crash to Earth,
Yeah.
Krypton. and then
There's
he's
always
gonna
that,
be
but also
raised by somebody.
he's Superman. He is invincible, crazy ass Superman, and making.
Although I would love to see like a Secret Identity movie. I think that could be awesome.
No, just. I mean, at least this movie
Have
didn't
you,
have.
read, have you read Secret Identity?
He didn't throw a continent of kryptonite
Oh,
anywhere. It was good.
Has anyone read Secret Identity?
Nobody else
other
read
than me?
Secret Identity.
It's so.
We're not
great.
talking about Secret Identity.
It's because it's not standard like Superman stuff. It is a kid who unfortunately his last name is Kent, and unfortunately his parents named him Clark, and so it's his like getting picked on as a kid, being like, "Oh, are you Superman and shit?" But as he gets older, eventually finds out he does have superpowers. It's
This
really
sounds like
weird.
Earth Prime
It's
Superman.
really weird, but awesome.
Sounds like
Read it.
Superman Prime.
Read it. Just everybody read.
No.
Everybody read Secret Identity. It's a
Do you remember how
great
much
book.
of a whiny
Great-
bitch Superman
great
Prime
book.
was?
Read
Don't worry about that.
Suburbs.
Just read
That's what it sounds like.
Read the Suburbs. That's a comic,
The Suburbs. That's not Superman.
Read Superman Birthright.
No, but
that
that's
is
a Superman character.
fantastic.
and he's an asshole.
What?
That's hilarious.
I told him read Superman Birthright. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Birthright's great.
Birthright's
If
great.
you're gonna read
And of
now,
course, Red Sun.
Red Sun is
Red
the
Sun.
best.
Sun's
Red
the best
Sun's-
Superman
oh,
story
wow.
ever.
Yeah.
I already had a
As Green
discussion.
Lantern, Russian Batman, and fucking Wonder Woman.
We already had a discussion, not us, but we had me, Casey, and Travis talk
You ever
about
see Superman have a talk
the
with someone?
best way to make Superman interesting is just to have him land somewhere that isn't Kansas. Like, you could land Superman anywhere, and they're like, he's instantly more interesting. Like, and we talked about Canadian Superman. He's like, oh, yay, I got my dog sled here. Like, like, everybody knows he's Superman. He's got, like, the denim jacket on, and he's just like...
He's in the Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, Superman, what's going on? He's like, oh, I just stopped by, get me a 2-4 of Bud Light. Gotta go back up to the fortress. And he like hops on his dog sled.
This sounds
You
terrible.
know what Canadian
This sounds
here is?
terrible.
Bud Light is what they drink in the
I have no idea what Canadians
He
are.
was-
Moosehead.
That's
Moosehead,
Crypto!
yeah.
Crypto, the super moose.
No, yeah, they have Crypto the Super Moose.
They got
Oh,
Crypto.
this sounds terrible.
Dude,
Well,
that's...
that's
No, and then,
Crypto
like...
Super
No, Canadian Superman, far more interesting than normal Superman. Just like Red Sun Superman was cool. That's...
So
Anyway.
anyways, is that everything you want to say about the movie?
The movie was good. You should probably see it. If you're a superhero fan, you're going to see it regardless of if we told you it was the shittiest movie ever anyway.
And that's why you're probably watching this, is because you already saw it.
And you probably didn't make it this far. But anyways, I think overall...
Watch us instead than
we all
Superman.
like the movie overall. We all like the movie overall, but I will say that the one thing that can kill this movie for you is
No
expectations.
crypto.
No, it's expectations.
No crypto.
Expectations is this movie's kryptonite.
It's
I wish I could leave this table.